to the Lioness Method, the podcast where we chat with female entrepreneurs and business leaders who share their hottest tips for creating long-lasting success that you can implement today. And now, here's your host, Narissa Sue, Master Integrated Breakthrough Coach. Well, hello, Divine Lioness. Welcome to another episode, the very first show of 2022. And I am here to welcome you guys to a brand new shiny year. And today we have a beautiful guest, Ragne Sinikas, and I hope I pronounced that correctly. Hopefully she can correct me if I haven't. And we are going to talk about how you as an entrepreneur can become the host of your own TV miniseries. And she's going to share her vision with us and some of her inspiring story. And I actually came across this wonderful lady on Clubhouse, and I heard her speak in a room, and I was just so excited by what she had to share that I wanted to bring her here to speak with you guys today. So I can't wait to get into that. And also, just really looking at ways as entrepreneurs that we can continue to serve the people that we ultimately want to reach. And so what a great way to be visible and to really start creating it's part of your legacy vision, that once you are able to have this content out in the world, that it's more impactful than just YouTube alone, because there's a lot of people on YouTube, right? And so Ragne's going to share some of that with us. So Ragne is a seasoned entrepreneur. She possesses an extensive experience at the executive level in operations, business development, fundraising strategy, sales, and marketing. The woman does it all. I love it. And Ragne founded a new boutique management consultancy firm specializing in strategy implementation and performance improvement in Cabos. She opened the very first co-working space, and that brings together all of the Los Cabos entrepreneurs, from developers from the tourism industry, to network, collaborate, and foster in a community, which that's where it's at for 2022. We've all been through a lot over the last couple of years with the pandemic. And I believe that from speaking to all of the wonderful women that I have over the years, that community is where it's at right now. So glad to be here with you, Ragne, to talk about how to build community, how to grow visibility. So welcome, welcome, welcome.
So blessed to be here. Happy New Year. And in my tradition, I'm originally from Estonia, now living in Mexico, but until the 7th of January, we can still wish the Happy New Year without bringing a gift. So today, I hope that I can greet you, and also bringing the gift of sharing with you my experience, and hopefully this will add value to you and to your business or to your personal growth. So here to serve, as Narissa was already stating as well. And to be honest, I love the name, the Lioness Method. Once you contacted me, I was like, okay, let's see. I'm pretty much, I'm sure that the tribe that is there has what it takes in order to be in the same page with me, and truly blessed to be in front of you today. So
wonderful. We're so excited to hear from you. And tell us a little bit about Starpreneurs and who you serve and how you serve them.
Well, Starpreneurs was actually born after I founded my nonprofit, which is called Untold Stories. And how it all started, when you see even my biography, they're like, okay, this has been involving quite a lot. So all my background has always been in a male-dominated industry, which is real estate. So since I was 17, I started doing real estate back in Europe, in Estonia. And up to the point,
and just to jump in, and I saw that you've done business all around the world. So you are a global entrepreneur, which is amazing.
Yeah, because that experience working in real estate, which the first investors which invested post-Soviet to Estonia were actually Italians, and I was fortunate enough to learn from them and to work with them quite so many years. And after that, I attracted the global leader of business centers and Regus. I'm pretty sure that most of the people have heard about them, which are the business centers and now also co-working centers worldwide. They are the leader of that market, and I had the honor to serve them for 5 years and running 4 countries for them. And also my training was held in Moscow and Russia. So I really got to know different cultures, what it means to work and build up those teams worldwide and build that community, which you just mentioned as well. The community building really started from there, and I think that's why it's relevant why I'm talking about my past. It started from there. Once coming to Los Cabos, then I created the co-working here, and I saw that there were so many young leaders who needed to be seen, who needed that someone really verifies their credibility. They just needed another output. So the youth empowerment started here in Mexico about 5 years ago. And then when COVID hit, I started to receive calls, as I'm also a certified coach by John Maxwell. Hey, what to do? I'm scared. I need to pivot. What do I do? Do I close down? And as I have this community of coaches, of mentors, of speakers like yourself, Nerissa, who we decided, let's get together. Let's provide the knowledge that is needed. So we started with Dominate the Decade podcast, which now has won also international awards twice last year. And then I said, you know what? We need to get our voice out there more than Facebook, more than Instagram, more than YouTube, as mentioned. All of those very good channels, but what happens with that is that you are attracting the same type of customer avatar, and you're just trying to be everywhere and hope it's different audience. But if you really analyze, you go back to the details, you will see that the people who follow you in Instagram, they follow you in Facebook, and they happen to follow you in YouTube. So what happens? All your hard work really doesn't give you more, but it spreads your attention. So I said, what do we do? It's like TV is too expensive. Production cost, getting even to a contract to be on TV, like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good point, because I think for the average entrepreneur, we are kind of a Jack or Jill of all trades, and we're doing it all on our own, doing it ourselves. And budgets can be limited, right? And so when I think TV, I'm like, oh man, that's going to be really expensive. Like you just mentioned, production costs and things like that.
Yeah. So I was fortunate enough, and nothing happens without reason. I believe that there is no coincidences in life, but it's the right time when your path crosses with someone. And I met my partner in Starpreneurs. Her name is Angie Norris, and Angie has extensive experience on corporate level, on doing the work on TV, on the real TV or traditional TV, let's say. And she said, you know what? There is a window. There is a window now with OTT, which and with the streaming TV, that we can go on Roku, we can go to Amazon Fire, and potentially going to Apple TV and other different platforms. Why we started with Roku? Because we love the algorithm, and we love the reach the most. We go next step to Amazon Fire as well, and we have been very curious to see how Apple is growing, and Apple likes to do what Facebook likes to do, change our algorithm. So it becomes really exhausting back end for all the team. So that's the reason why if someone asks, okay, but why walk or why Amazon Fire? That's the main reason. And then we really wanted the small business owner who have the best idea. They have the untold story which the world just needs to hear in order to change other lives. And they need to be in front of the new eyeballs, the new audience.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, how can we really do it with a budget that is affordable?
Mm-hmm.
And also that we do not need to hire the high-end production team or studio where you go and you do, and obviously we all love that, and we all love to have the access to that, but not everybody has it. And I think it's unfair to those entrepreneurs who really truly have their story, who really want to voice, or as we call in World Women Conference, the voice that your voice is your superpower. So not to be able to use it, and especially with female entrepreneurs. I know so many incredible ladies, and yet we don't know about them. Why? Because the same thing. And now Facebook is limiting more and more and more, which
Yes.
really sets more and more limits to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
So Starpreneurs is in very short and very, let's say, elegantly said, a opportunity for small business owners, for coaches, speakers to be in front the eyeballs which their audience haven't covered yet, or to switch out from all the noise which is going on in Facebook and other platforms, and really have focus that they come. You can have the options to have it free, the content for free, or maybe you have some things which you want the audience to be committed, and that means that on demand or subscription based content. And
Oh,
this,
that's great. They can do on demand and subscription for sure. So what does it look like when an entrepreneur comes to work with you? Like, is there a training program, or like how do you get people on TV? Like, what does that process look like?
yes, exactly. So depending on what is your commitment really, are you already creating content, or you want to create content? If you already creating content, then obviously we don't need to start to teach you how to be in front of camera, what light to use, what microphone to use, and all of that. So you're covered. But if you are someone who, for example, a coach which have been doing corporate coaching, and you haven't been needing to do all this, let's say, digital channels or doing Zooms, doing all of that, then once you enter, we have a coaching program that you can go through. We have actually deconstruction it, so you can go following the days, 1, 2, up to 30. So it's not overwhelming, and you don't like need to consume everything at once. So we have step by step, we hold your hand, how to do it, what to do it, what not to do it, what is the really minimum budget, in order to create a quality video that is also good to be seen on smart TV.
That's actually a really good point. What does it generally cost? Like what does that generally cost to produce one good piece of content that you can put on TV, like on Roku or?
Well, one is that depending on where you are, you can do
Okay.
relatively low cost in Mexico, which can be somehow from $500 up to a budget which, in the end, who's going to be your studio? Are you going to hire a producer? Are you going to hire the set manager? Like, the budget can be unlimited.
Okay. And is that something that you provide? Like, say I'm like, okay, Ragne, I want to do this. So would I need to come to Mexico to work with you in your studio, or do you do it this way? Or like, what does that process look like?
No, that's the beauty of it. We will teach you how to create that space in your home. We know that, and we knew that the COVID situation is unfortunately is not going to go away just like that. Even if we want to, it's not. And we needed to pivot and innovate in a way. Okay, how can we really create that content without leaving the house? And that's exactly the details, the technical details which we cover in our training, the everything. We just take you from 99% of the people who is watching this, you have a device, right? So if you have a device, you have a camera. So this is a good start. And most of us have the smartphones, which at this point, the cameras are doing incredible job.
There's some really great cameras right now. It looks better than even some of the wireless cameras that we have for laptops.
Exactly. So what we do, we just walk you through the technical part. What are the pixels? How do you need to put the phone? Where do you need to have the light? What microphone to use, and all of that. And in the end of the day, we also provide you with different options. I was like, when I entered, I was like, Angie, you tell me to buy a microphone. How many microphones there are? Are you kidding me?
So many. There's so many.
You're right. Okay, let's give options. If you just want to be an entry level, buy this one. If you want this, buy this one. So we have really, as I say, deconstructed every up to the point that there's just choose out of those three and your problem has been solved.
Point and click. So say I wanted to sign up, and like, how quickly would you from start to finish be able to get something completed and ready to be on TV?
Well, if you already have content, then basically today you sign up, our team will go through all of your you need to fill up which are the categories where you want to be dominating or where you want to show up. So as soon as we have defined that, it can take as little as 5 working days, because we need to see and make sure that all the content, especially if like us, if we would put this content to there, we need to make sure that the internet connection has been really, really good throughout our session. No? So we will go through the technical part. We will see if your content is up to the standards that it's needed. If it is, we just need to upload it with the descriptions that you need to provide us. What is your message? And again, even there, we walk you through. Like now, some people will say categories. I don't have no clue what you're asking me.
Yeah. What are some hot categories right now that you're seeing in TV that are doing well? Like
health,
health,
wealth, and relationships.
Health, wealth, and relationships. Exactly. There we go. She's like, bam.
So I'm pretty sure that whatever you're teaching, whatever your message is, whatever your product or service is, you will be under that. So we will walk you through also that. Every single details that you need is explained, and is really like, okay. And what I like about that process, it also created the clarity of my message. We as entrepreneurs try to be everything to everybody. And that's when someone asks you who you are, what you do, then you're like, well, where to start? I do this and I do that. And then they're like,
so are you a believer in having a niche? Or because I know there's different entrepreneurs have different varying schools of thought on whether or not you should niche down, or if you should be serving like a general category. Is that what you're referring to?
What I'm referring to is you need to know the customer avatar. If you don't know who is your customer, what is the problem that you're solving or the desire that you're fulfilling, then the ad money that you need in order to really, really have the conversion of doing all of this, your pockets needs to be very deep.
Yeah.
The more you know your customer, you don't need to really know your customer more than yourself.
Mm.
So need to know who they are, what do they like, what are they eating, seeing, who are they following. You need to know that. And we really, the whole process walks you through how to do that analysis, which most of the entrepreneurs, we're not doing it because we think that we have the best idea, the best product, and everybody needs to know about it. But what we are lacking is to communicate. Okay,
Mhm. I
how
think
does
that's what oh my
this?
gosh, I believe that's 100% where it is. If you don't know how to communicate your message, you're not gonna reach the right people,
Yeah,
right?
exactly, because you're not talking to their desires, or you're not talking
Mhm,
to their why people are reaching out, because they have a problem that you
mhm,
want to solve. And if you just tell people who you are and not really explaining how you are the key to success in order to solve that problem or to really fulfill that desire, which can also
mhm,
be something related to desire, then
mhm.
they say, oh, it's nice to meet you, but they don't, you know.
They don't connect, right? They don't
Exactly.
connect because
So
it
you
has to
don't.
be about them at the end of the day. Because that's what people are really interested in. They're
Mhm.
interested in themselves and solving their own issue, and like you said, that's what you got to speak to.
Yeah.
Well, I super appreciate you sharing about your program. It's so fascinating. I have so many other questions, but I also wanted to dive into a little bit of your story because I think that I really believe that when we share our stories as female entrepreneurs, it inspires other women to get into business and to keep excelling. So, what are some of the challenges that you overcame to be able to do this work and to serve like you do today?
Well, I think one thing that every single female entrepreneur needs to overcome is really truly not comparing ourselves with others, especially if you are in male dominated industries, because you're never going to be like them. You're always better, but you don't. And better meaning in a sense that you are unique.
Hmm.
Cannot do or be as you are, and vice versa. So you always bring some type of talent on the table. But the number one thing to learn, especially if you are a young leader, if you are a someone who wants to pivot now, maybe from corporate life to become a entrepreneur, is to believe in yourself,
Hmm.
because if you do not believe in yourself, nobody else will. And
Hmm.
this can be smelled from the moment that they see you. If you are not confident, not believing in yourself, not believing in your product or your service or who you serve, and the why you and why now, then it's going to be, then just keep the corporate job.
Hmm.
Entrepreneurship is like having a baby. You're never ready.
Hmm.
Programs grow as the kids grow, and there is surprises absolutely every day. So,
Hmm.
so I think when you get comfortable to be uncomfortable, believing in yourself, and the most important part, which sometimes it's hard to understand, and not even maybe understand, but we always have this excuse, but I will do it when I have more funds or more money available,
Hmm.
to have a coach or a mentor. We can do and reach some type of success with the knowledge, with the training, with the education. But in order to scale and grow, we need to have someone with the results that we want, that can walk us through the process that is needed in order. So we again, we go to this comfort zone. It's so
Hmm.
hard to start to think differently, to act differently. Yet every new year we're like, this year I'm going to do it. And then we are doing with the same people,
Mm-hmm.
places, and it's insanity to think that we will have different results.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that was Einstein, right? That said doing the same thing over and over and over again is insanity.
Yeah.
Right. And I love your analogy, just to go back about having a business is just like having a baby, because the other thing, that you're saying about entrepreneurship is you have to have a certain amount of courage to jump out there, not only for confidence, but your business is only going to be as strong as your character, as you have evolved yourself as a person, right? And I think that's where I work with women as a transformational coach, is bringing that out, because it's just like your kids, right? Your kids are going to follow what you do and who you are, not necessarily what you say. And your business is exactly the same. Like, the strength of your business is only as strong as the strength of you, your character, how far you've come in your self-development. And so I think that's beautiful, just to kind of sum all of that up. And what are some of the speakers or inspirational people that you've had in your life that have made a difference in your entrepreneurial journey?
Oh, actually, it took me time to be coachable, because also thinking that when you go through a lot of challenges, and then once you get some type of success, you will feel the lioness. Now you're like,
Yes. It's like, rawr.
and it's very good. It's very good, and it's very necessary to celebrate. But we often make this mistake that we stay in there.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're like not looking into, because we know that it's going to hurt, because the growing hurts, because we
Mm-hmm.
need to sacrifice. And my let's say best advice, and that's why I think it's very important also to diversify. You need to have the mentor or the coach on specifically on that focus area. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I asked like niche or not. I didn't answer really the question. It doesn't matter. What matters is where your focus is. If you are diversifying but have the focus on different areas, one at a time, you can diversify. But if you are all over the place at the same time, then you have a problem. So one thing at a time, and once you have the results, you move to another. The same thing for me. I understood in one moment that one coach or mentor can help me to grow again to a certain level, and then I'm lacking on the other thing. And what I always had in my mind, as I'm always being ambitious and very positive and wanting more, so I haven't had the motivation problem, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
But where I really did see is that I needed to focus on my weaknesses rather than my strengths, and really turn around those weaknesses. And
Mm-hmm.
if we talk about entrepreneurship, then we are usually lacking, unless it depends on if you're right brainer or left brainer. We
Mm-hmm.
are women. We tend to lack the understanding and the importance of knowing our numbers.
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean? We do it because we want to serve. We do, our why is there, but we don't know how to really manage the process. We don't know how to really manage well our finances in order to have both successes, to win in the world, and also have our own needs covered. And this is where I see the biggest challenge for female entrepreneurs, because we give up so easily. It's like someone needs help and they cannot pay. What do we do? We help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we're like, why I can't grow? Why I'm here? Because you are putting away the thing which is the financial management of, basically it's the management of your time and your
Mhm.
finances.
Yes.
Time, the worst thing what we do is that we do not analyze the results that our days are giving us.
Hmm.
Do not base our calendar on our true authentic values. What usually happens, I go to train an executive and I say the first thing, what are your 5 core values? Family, health, all of that. Okay, open up your calendar. And what do you see there? Can you
Hmm.
give me meeting this, ta 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 ta? I'm like, okay, that's perfect. So one of your values is there. Where are the rest of the 4? What do you mean? Family, you said family? Where's your family time? You said health. Where is it? I don't see it.
Hmm. I
So
love that. That's such a big thing for, I think, coming into the new year is putting yourself back in your schedule. Like so many women don't schedule themselves into their lives, right? Like just like you're saying, the workout, the eating right, the family time, the date time, the time to stare at the wall, and do nothing.
but
Uh,
that's because the values are
mhm.
not authentic values. If you
Yeah.
don't believe in those values, if you don't believe that your health is really truly your wealth, then you're not
Hmm.
going to take the time. You're not going to commit yourself into
Hmm.
doing it, because
Yeah.
we always want to go with quick fixes. This pill is going to take care of my overweight. This
Yes. No, it's 100% about accountability, right? It's like who's
exactly.
driving? Who's driving right now?
Or even you, we all know that when we sign up
Yeah.
for a training program, we're like, it sort of should take care of the problem. Now I invested, but you invested your money, but you did not commit yourself into it, so you're
Mhm.
not
You've
going to
got to
get
do the
results.
work. That's the missing part. You do the work, get the result. I was just talking to a client about this the other day because they were like, I did the thing, and it's like, well, where's the homework? Have you done the XYZ? Like the result is in doing the work throughout the whole thing, right? Just like if we're eating donuts and we want a six pack abs, it's not gonna happen, right?
Yeah. Now, and exactly analyzing all the areas of your life and really
Hmm.
have clarity where you are, where you want to be, and one, what you need to do, and two, who can take you there.
Hmm.
Again, if you want to become millionaire the next 12 months, which is totally doable, but you need to commit yourself and you
Hmm.
really need to have a mentor who can take you there,
Hmm.
then you need to understand that the one day that the below will really win the battle, then you already gave up. And the really truly the promises which
Hmm.
we give ourselves are the ones that we break in a first line.
Hmm.
Accountability doesn't allow us to really break the bond with if you give that promise to someone else. But
Hmm.
back our mind when we give the promise to ourselves, but nobody else knows, so it doesn't matter. It does.
It
Because
does. That's why the accountability definitely it's so important.
it affects your self-confidence, because in
Mhm.
one of your mind you don't believe that you can really do it because you
Mhm.
have breaking your promises so many times before. And that's why a really knowledgeable mentor or coach can really take you there. Who are they
Mhm.
in my life? I started with John C. Maxwell. Beautiful,
Mhm.
beautiful mentor to have on leadership and really starting your personal growth journey. Then I was saying, oh, I am really truly lacking how to structure and manage my finances. So
Mhm.
I hired JD Fox. Then I said, so, okay, now I have 2 parts, but everything that I do, what is the legacy I will leave behind?
Mhm.
So I said, okay, who do I see? Who do I admire? Which are the results that I want to have? And really finding that mentor
Mhm.
in your life is really crucial. The same way, how do you really choose your coaches and mentors? To the same way. Where do you want to be? Who has those results?
Mhm.
it's going to be a game changer for you.
I love that. So much, so many words of wisdom. Thank you so much for spending your time with us and for sharing all these amazing tips. And I totally heard that health, wealth, and relationships. Those are the things that we're all focusing on, that we have our ears wide open. And so if somebody wants to reach out to you to be a part of the Starpreneurs program, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Okay, if Starpreneurs is the priority, then just go www.starpreneurs.tv, and you will have all the information: who we are, what do we do, how can we help you to be the next star, and you can take it from there. And obviously, you can reach out any social media platform with my name, Ragne Sinikas. I will be more than happy to connect with you and share my knowledge on everything that you just heard, and hopefully it will serve you.
Wonderful. Well, thank you again for being on the show. And I want to thank you, ladies, for listening. If you've listened all the way to the end, then we super appreciate you, your time, your effort. And if you have questions for either one of us, feel free to reach out to me and I will make sure that we get those questions answered, because we are here to serve and help you move forward with your career, whether it's becoming more visible or breaking through the things that we feel are holding us back from really achieving the next level of success, or jumping out there using your voice. Because I know a lot of the listeners that I have are really curious about jumping out into the spotlight, what that might take. Maybe you're still in your corporate job and you're beginning to think about jumping out into entrepreneurship. Well, this is the place. We have all the resources to support you. And until next time, I will say goodbye for now. So live in gratitude, ladies, stay light, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.